Hey everybody, welcome to Moving Mountains. I'm Dr. Lance Knaub and I'm here today with Keith Campagna and Sean Healy from Accounted4. Keith is our Chief Growth Officer and Sean is the President. Guys, thank you so much for joining today.
Appreciate having us.
Yeah, it's been fun getting to know you guys over the last couple of months, and shout out to Ainsley Maloney for connecting us.
Ainsley.
Yeah, trying to get her in here in the near future. Ainsley, you can do it. You'll be a rock star. So let's jump right in. Sean, I mean, for everyone listening, tell us a little bit about you personally and take us right up to what sparked Accounted4.
Ooh, personally, start off.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I grew up around Philly.
Yeah.
Still living there with my wife, 2 dogs. Big into rugby. That's kind of been my my thing. I actually coached for Drexel University for the past couple years.
I didn't know that.
This past year, started playing instead of coaching. So
is it supposed to go the opposite way?
You think so? You think so? But started the company about 5 years ago. So I was a director at an accounting firm and realized there was a real big gap in the marketplace.
Right.
Where most accountants are very good at helping people look backwards, there was a gap in tools and resources to help business owners look forward.
Right.
So we started realizing there was a need, which has only been amplified because of a lot of things going on in the accounting industry right now.
Okay.
There's less accountants graduating. The AICPA in 2019 said that by 2030, I think it was 75 or 80% of CPAs would be retiring. And with the college cliff coming, which is something that will be occurring over the next 5 years, there's less 18-year-olds able to go to college.
Okay.
So there's a big opportunity coming where it's an industry that needs professionals, and it's an industry that needs or the entrepreneurs need this industry to have tools and resources to provide insight. So it's just been a fun journey thus far.
Okay.
Fun journey thus
No,
far.
that's awesome. And Keith, tell us, I know you guys are like the dynamic duo here.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about you personally and how you guys met and connected.
Well, right around the time Sean was figuring out there's a gap in service in the accounting industry, I was jumping into the entrepreneurial pool as well. I grew up in the software sales industry, predominantly in HR tech. And so what I saw in businesses of all shapes and sizes was that software wasn't answering the question. It was the attitude and the leadership and the mindset of being able to be more productive and happy employees. So I started to recognize an opportunity to help businesses with sales strategy as well as mindset and leadership development.
Right.
So Sean and I met when we worked at the same software company. It was a payroll company. And then the relationship just kind of grew onto itself. And for the last 5 years, we've been talking through each other's growth, and it wasn't until last year where the company was big enough and had enough revenue, I came on full time.
Okay.
And now we're in what they call high growth mode.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you have some other entrepreneurial experiences and backgrounds. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so think of me as almost like a sales guy for hire. I really got, 5 years ago, I realized I didn't want to sell someone else's software. I'm a life first kind of guy, so the idea was to create my own type of structure where I can take care of my kids, not have to apologize or miss out on anything that I didn't want to miss out on. And in the sales world, if you could produce results, you could help anyone.
Yeah.
And so fortunately for me, I've been able to help business owners get out of their own way, develop a sales strategy, and execute it. And it's been working.
I love it. That's awesome. You know, I really am just getting to learn your product, and I think for everyone listening, hearing a story about someone you've helped, because definitely, you know, as a coach, I really know it's a valid problem, right? We all know Shark Tank and Mr. Wonderful. Entrepreneurs struggle to know their numbers, and not only to know them, but then to how to use them, to apply them, to analyze them, and actually have some strategic actions. So yeah, maybe give us an example, which will probably enlighten us a little bit about who you serve and what it all looks like.
So a lot of the business owners that we tend to work with tend to fall into a couple different, call them pools, right? So a lot of times we'll have business owners that, like doctors, they're very good at what they do, but they never really took a business class.
Sure.
So as you know, we work with a lot of physical therapy offices, and we love working with physical therapists.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, in their college career, there's never an opportunity to get any business insight. So a lot of times the role that we play is really just acting as a coach. So story-wise, we have some clients that, they just need validation.
Yeah.
They have a gut feeling of something they need to do, and they just need somebody to sit there and validate. Cash flow is struggling. Why is this happening?
Right.
Just a simple being able to take all the complex noise that is accounting and bookkeeping and being able to simplify it into, this is the problem, this is the actionable item. Somebody that needs to get a loan and they have 4 different options. Which one is going to give them the most runway? Which one is the most intelligent loan to take?
Right.
Or a lot of organizations that eventually want to sell, question 1 is identifying what their goal is.
Yes.
But we've walked a number of different companies through that due diligence process, which can be a lot, but what we try to do is help them proactively put these things in place now and start educating them and asking the right questions today to make sure that they're not waiting till the 11th hour to figure out how am I going to approach this.
Yeah, I mean, I love starting with the end in mind. Is there any compelling, example you can think of that just shows a turnaround or even just an enlightened decision, like having the dashboard?
Yeah, we have one client that literally was at, I think, 3 locations when they met us, and because of some of the analytics, we were able to show them exactly how much money they'd need, exactly how many patients they needed through the door. Within the first year of working with us, we're able to get location 4 and 5, and they've been with us for 3 years now, and they're on location 8.
Wow, that's great. That's amazing. Yeah. Keith, anything to add in your part of working with clients?
No, I get to talk to everybody up front, find out what their current state is, and then Sean becomes the hero, to help fix them. But I'm reminded of one of our clients. They got a report from their CPA saying that they had $270,000 of profit last quarter, but they couldn't find it inside of their books.
Yeah.
And it really illustrates how the industry is underserved small business owners.
Right.
CPAs are great at taxes and profit. They're relatable data points, but none of that has to do with cash flow. And when you have a small business, cash is king, cash flow matters.
Yeah.
And so helping them clear out their bookkeeping, make sure that their QuickBooks data is accurate and in real time, that allows us to do that projection, to do those forecasting and give clarity to the business owner that they didn't have before. And as well as we do, you want mental clarity as a business owner, have financial clarity and you'll get there fast.
I mean, so much good stuff here. I was lucky enough to have some good financial mentors, and we had a manipulated, Excel workbook with 20 tabs.
Right.
And I remember when we moved to accrual-based accounting, because sort of cash-based, we're like, oh, we had a great month. And our financial people taught me, well, Lance, how's this month going by visits? Projecting forward. Yep. Because that's the last 2 or 3 months, depending how good you are in your AR, revenue, and you might just be falling off a cliff. So you guys, I don't have to have 20 manipulated tabs anymore. The software really makes it easy. And then I think of Grant Cardone, right? Cash is king, and cash flow, and I mean, that kills so many people. There's a physician I'm working with that didn't even realize he wasn't profitable last year and just till last week. Yep. And so many of the entrepreneurs that I'm working with really don't have a great handle on it. We're luckily working with good bookkeepers and trying to bring all this together. I get on the phone with the accountants, but it's a massive problem.
And there's an interesting element too.
Yeah.
We talk about how most business owners don't have any accounting background, right? But there's a resistance to accounting because there's this financial thing and people don't have the confidence to it, so they actually shy away from it. Whereas the model that we bring, it's a virtual, they don't have to invest a lot, but they do get that proximity where we come to them with the answers they seek, so they feel better about it.
Yeah.
And then they become more the educational process gets more enhanced, and then before you know it, they have all the confidence and know-how that they were looking for.
Well, I love that you're actually teaching people so they can get better over time.
You need to bring that self-awareness, right?
Yeah.
You need to understand what's happening, good or bad. It's really easy sometimes to, everybody's had that credit card that was maxed out and you just don't look at it, right?
Yeah.
It's very easy to look the other way. We try to create that consistent cadence where we're going to let you know what's happening, but we're going to help you stay focused help you understand what you need to do to either get out of the hole or to keep that momentum going.
Yeah, and is this really like blue zone? I was listening to your podcast interview, and again, I'm actually just learning bookkeeping for the first time in my life and career, which is a mixed blessing. But we've talked about what QuickBooks can offer, but it seems like your product is pretty innovative, right?
Yeah, there's a blue ocean opportunity here just based off of the existing state of the accounting industry. We talk about accountants with taxes, financial people are all about EBITDA. No one's talking to business owners in terms that affect them. So being able to provide accurate data out of QuickBooks is well known, but it's also well known for not being as accurate as people want it to be. So combining the two, providing information with real-time technology, it's not been in the industry. And I get to talk to all of these industry experts, and it's just been remarkable because what they keep sharing with us is that keep doing what you're doing because no one else has done it yet.
Well, I guess the other thing that we really haven't talked about is I'm really passionate about strategic planning.
Right.
And
Right.
across all industries, entrepreneurs do not like to create budgets. I prefer the word pro forma. And then, of course, to measure themselves against this regularly. So I think if I'm understanding it correctly, you guys are really facilitating this process of,
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, the technology is meant to read all the data,
Yeah.
find the right assumptions, and be able to tell you how your company's going to do.
Yeah.
It's to build that forecast. Where the coach comes in and why we want the two to always be together is I can give you the best budget in the world, but if you're not going to use it, or if it's not something you have any type of ownership over, it's not the best budget in the world, right? There
Yeah.
needs to be, we need to help them understand and quantify things like their goals. Because great that you're making profit, but if you're not making enough profit to get to your goal, are you making enough profit?
if you're not making enough profit to replace, the 20 hats that you're wearing, 30 hats probably.
Yep.
And to keep hiring the best people and to invest in the next piece of capital and to do actually some good marketing or to hire some skilled marketing help.
Or to plan for a loss a few months from now.
Oh yeah.
Most people pay their employees bi-weekly. Twice a year, you have 3 payrolls that are coming out. You're probably going to take a loss.
Right.
But if you are saving each and every month some of that profit for that loss,
Yeah.
did you really take a loss? It's kind of that, you can look at it like a finite game, or you can look at it more like an infinite game. And cash flow is an infinite game.
Right.
Unfortunately, accounting, profit, that is a finite measurement system on, it's just, there's a better way of going about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to continue to learn. So you guys are really, doing some big things, and I'm, really pleased because physical therapy needs some love.
Right.
That you guys are, especially supporting physical therapy. But tell everyone listening how you guys individually handle the low points, the challenges. We all love to hear how successful entrepreneurs get through the tough times. Keith, why don't you start us off on this one, including some mindset?
Well, the thing that matters the most to me is being around people that I could trust, right? And knowing that when I have, like, the name of the game inside of what we're doing has everything to do with stretching, getting out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
We really recognize that there is no failure, it's just learning. So we really have a move forward in the right direction, and you get out of your comfort zone, it could wear you down. And so you stick to the basics. Sean and I have been doing this for a long time, so we're pretty much on the same page. Like if he feels stressed, I feel stressed. If I feel stressed, he feels stressed. And we talk through it, and one of the things that's helped the most is looking back over our shoulder and seeing how far we've come.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on what's ahead, focus on where we've come. And it really does change the way that your mind perceives the stress. And then, I'm a big fan of a healthy diet. Get out there, be active, do the things you love. For me, it's live music. I'm a big fan of music, so do that. Hang out with my kids.
Oh, I love it. And how about you, Sean? How do you get through the low points?
Practice. It's, failure's part of the journey, right?
For sure.
And I think a lot of times you can either get upset by it, or you can just keep reminding yourself and trying to be self-aware that it's okay. What is it? The night is darkest before the dawn. It's one of those things that you have to continuously remind yourself. You have to surround yourself with good people as well, and you got to get yourself into good habits.
Yeah.
You know, a good morning routine goes a very, very long way.
Right.
You know, making sure that you and your team and the people that you are working with are planning proactively, right? Just taking a little time and giving my team permission to plan for their next week.
Yeah.
Like, take the hour, it's okay. Like, some of those little things can go a long way from a business perspective. And, you know, I had a really bad time about a year ago. Part of the reason why I started playing sports again, you know, getting active, getting yourself in shape, you know, those are things that boost the confidence and help bring some of that mental clarity.
Well, it's music to my ears, and we're going to dig in deeper because we're going to take a quick break and thank our sponsors, and we're going to come back and talk about how you guys avoid burnout. So stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back after a quick message. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Angela Pipersberg, and I have a new show here in RVN Television called The Angela Pipersberg Show. And I want you to join me every week as I sit with guests and we discuss their life journeys, share wisdom, and tips that will inspire you to live your best life. Don't miss The Angela Pipersberg Show every week here on RVN Television, where we're celebrating life and we're inspiring you to greatness.
Hi, I'm Dr. Esther Malave, and welcome to my show, Achieving a Better You. Through this show, we're going to explore ways to make a better version of you. For example, nutrition, finance, fitness, health. Remember that there's always a way of making a better version of yourself, no matter what the circumstances are. And remember to look for Achieving a Better You show on RVN TV.
Some say the world has never been more divided, more self-centered,
Gosh, thank you so much.
more uncaring,
Thank you. Oh, miss. Thank you.
that we've never been more disconnected. But through our windows, we're able to see so much good every day. And it's clear that a little kindness is never really little.
Did you know that only 8% of people who set their goals, they actually succeed in achieving them? Well, if you want to be a part of that 8%, then you need to tune into Achieve with Wanda Martin, where I will teach you tips, tools, and strategies on how to achieve your goals in any field and on any level. So tune in, watch me on the RVN network on how to achieve your goals and be a part of that 8%.
Hi, I'm Angela Pipersberg, and I have a new show here in RVN Television called The Angela Pipersberg Show. And I want you to join me every week as I sit with guests and we discuss their life journeys, share wisdom, and tips that will inspire you to live your best life. Don't miss The Angela Pipersberg Show every week here on RVN Television, where we're celebrating life and we're inspiring you to greatness.
Hi, I'm Dr. Esther Malave, and welcome to my show, Achieving a Better You. Through this show, we're going to explore ways to make a better version of you. For example, nutrition, finance, fitness, health. Remember that there's always a way of making a better version of yourself, no matter what the circumstances are. And remember to look for Achieving.
Hey, welcome back to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with Keith and Sean from Accounted4. So much good stuff, guys. I want to jump right back into burnout and how you guys stay healthy, stay recharged. Right now, I mean, I guess the company's 5 years in, but Keith, you've been a little bit less, but I don't know, you guys are definitely in growth mode. I don't know if you consider yourself still as a startup mode, but
Absolutely.
okay.
Oh yeah.
So startup is it's
real.
all in. So how the hell do you do it?
I'll let you take this one.
Yeah,
This is right up your alley.
So this is really something that matters to me a lot, and the answer that comes to my mind is meditation.
Okay.
Like, I'm a big advocate of meditation. There's something about being able to control the monkey mind internally
Yeah.
that allows you to control the chaos that's outside of you. And when it comes to growing a company, there are so many moving parts. And to really, so far as I'm concerned, to do it the right way, you have to get out of your comfort zone. So you have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And to do that means that you have to be aware of what you're doing. We talk about it all the time, the idea of if you're going to grow a business, you have to be real. You have to dream big,
Yeah.
but you can't pretend.
For sure.
And so to do that means
People will see right through that.
right. And what we'll do is we'll say, all right, we want to be from A to B. So what does that mean, behavior? Like, what do we have to change to get there? And then from B to C. And then we spend the time to visualize it, talk through it, and then we reverse engineer it. And then you can almost see where the cliff gets steep.
Okay.
Or where it's going to require, not like we've done this before with our team. Folks, we're going to stretch you. We're going to bring on new clients in a real quick way, and it's going to make you get out of your comfort zone. You're doing great. We're there for you. We know it's going to hurt. And sure enough, we had one-on-ones, right? We helped them. Listen, stress is part of the game. One of my big mantras is that stress, the opposite of stress isn't no stress. The opposite of stress is creativity. So if you can reduce the stress to the point where you're not burning out, you can maintain creativity. And when you're being creative, you're having more fun, you're engaged, and it really moves time faster and you get a lot more done.
I love it. I love it. How about you, Sean? We know you've gone back to playing rugby.
Yeah. So that definitely helped. I felt like I was in a little bit of a spiral at one point, and I needed to do something drastic to get me out, and that was one of the more drastic things that I could think of. So for me, the big thing is knowing when to walk away.
Okay.
So I tell my team all the time, if you're working on something and you have that mental fog, walk away for a few minutes. We actually call it the 45-15-15 rule.
Okay.
Work for 45 minutes on a project. If you hit a point that you're just walk away for 15, go do anything but work, come back for 15
That's great
minutes.
advice. I mean, it kind of ties into the research, really. There's something called the Pomodoro method, and I've kind of tweaked that, and I use 45 minutes of focus and 15 minutes of refresh.
Yep, it's an easy way to trigger getting into what they refer to as flow state.
Yeah.
But it's just giving them the permission to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, myself, you can ask my wife. We need to go on vacation once, at the very least, every 9 months. We made a deal that once every 9 months we go to Europe. So just for a week, and whenever we do go on vacation, I will turn my phone off, throw it in the safe, and I will check in with my team for a few minutes once a day before dinner. But I need that.
Fearless.
I need that hard reset.
Yeah, I love that. And do you break free on weekends? How does a typical 7-day week look like for you, as far as staying
It depends
fresh?
on the month. I definitely work too much, but I'm also obsessed with what I do.
Yeah.
I think if you are starting a company and you are not obsessed with it, it can be very difficult to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
5 years in, I still love what I do, and we've scaled it to a point that I'm fortunate enough that I have a team to help. But
How big's the team right now?
so we have 8 people.
Okay.
8 people going on 50. So this is going to be a very interesting year.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And I'll add to that, Lance.
Yeah,
I'm a
please.
single dad with 2 kids. And so for me, I never want to sacrifice the quality and the opportunity to be around my kids and serve my kids. They're teenagers now, so they're getting a little bit more on their own. But what I've learned through the process is that I can't work 16-hour days. I don't have the energy. By the time I'm done going from work to dad mode to clean the house, I'm shot. So what that's done for me is help me focus with the time that I have.
Yeah.
And then I produce that much more. There's that, flow is defined as when challenge meets skill set.
Okay.
So it's that continuous growth of here's what I've got to do. What skill do I need to be able to accomplish it in the right amount of time? And that's the discipline of no distractions, the concept of what are the top 3 things I got to do today, and then just cross those off as you get through them.
It's having a hard stop sometimes.
Yeah. I was mentored in flipping the switch, and I still have to coach myself and practice it. It's
None of this is easy.
No,
None of this is easy.
for sure.
And it also, it always ties into burnout, because you're going to burn out at times. I think the trick is being able to self-identify
Right.
and rebound quickly.
Yes.
You know, you're going to fall out of balance. Trying to remain in balance is just not possible. So you're going to fall off. It's kind of like when you go for a run. You know, if all of a sudden you are it's great that you can run far, but your recovery is really the important thing.
Right.
It's the same thing mentally. You can have a bad day as long as you can recover, wake up the next day, and be positive. You know, that tends to help go a long way over the course of time.
For sure. And how much sleep do you guys get on average?
Sleep is a priority for me, so at least 7 hours.
Okay.
Between 6 and 8.
Okay.
Between 6. Generally around 7 and 8, but for some reason, like recently, I will wake up an hour before my alarm. No idea why.
Okay.
So it depends.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, so much good stuff for everyone listening. So I'm really excited to talk about a couple cool things. Definitely your vision, but also one of the things I think is most special, and I know we're 1,000% aligned on, return on investment and helping entrepreneurs actually figure that out. I was lucky enough to have a great mentor who took IBM through all their business plans and really took me a long time to be actually able to measure the actions we did and even our time and then revenue and expenses and take it all the way to profit. And even the marketing people, some of them were outside, hate's a strong word, but they hated it. They didn't like to be measured, right? Which is not common for marketing people. But we got there, and I know you guys are building that into your system, which will be a game changer. Talk to me about that. Weave it into the master vision.
So I'm assuming this came from a quote that you heard a while back where one of our mentalities is marketing, if you are not tracking ROI, is an expense.
Yeah.
If you track the ROI, it's an investment.
Yes.
There are very simple things that you can do.
You said that and I loved it. Yes, yes.
There are very simple things that companies can be doing to track the ROI of what they're doing. You know, so for marketing, for a doctor's office, you know, instead of on a P&L breaking out marketing by SEO and all the different subcategories you normally see, I've never heard somebody come in an office and go, I found you because of your SEO strategy. Right? You want to be able to map your expenses and your spend exactly as you are tracking new patients coming through the door.
Right.
Right? And if you can do that, you can look at that over the course of time and start gauging which buckets should we be putting more money into.
Yes.
You can start experimenting.
Yes.
And I think that goes with a lot of different aspects of business. You know, if I'm going to open a new location, if I want to go sell my company, what's the ROI of doing that? And most importantly, we always refer to it as napkin math. It's just, let's get some of the main factors. Let's try to figure out, from a high level, is this worth it? What's the opportunity cost of not doing something?
And then there's the big picture.
Yeah.
Right? Business owners are often stuck in the weeds. They're working in their business, not on their business.
Yep.
So what's the big reason to sell, to exit, to give it away, whatever the strategy is? When we explain to them, when you have your numbers, the people that are interested in acquiring you will think more of you. We've been told by our clients, based off of having projections that are easy to understand and reliable, their multipliers increase 2-3 times. It's a true opportunity for you to hit that big payout when you do the math the right way along the way, because the business models work. Look at the industries, look at the healthcare services.
Yeah.
It's a roll-up industry right now. The CPA firms.
A lot of consolidation,
Lots of opportunity there. And all you need to do is stand out amongst the herd of people that don't know what they're doing.
Well, entrepreneurs will be able to they'll be able to, if they know what's important to be measured, and I've worked with private equity and knowing, being valued and, on both sides of it. So they'll be able to know what matters and then get that right, and then they may decide to keep their profit generating machine. Mm-hmm. What would be your final best boiled down thoughts for entrepreneurs that want to reach the highest peaks? And then I want you guys to tell everybody where they can follow you, find you, and Accounted4, and any offers that you guys have for everyone listening.
So for me, it's always been a matter of, to reach your potential requires you to become a different person. So you have to consider who you are, what values you have, and what you're trying to do, and then what is it that the person you're trying to become, what kind of values do they have, what kind of activities do they perform day in and day out. And if you keep focusing on those behaviors, well, before you know it, you know, you've moved mountains and you've got your success laid out.
Okay, I love it. Yeah.
Surround yourself with people smarter than you.
Okay.
Surround yourself with people smarter than you. And I'm going to steal a quote you said earlier. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. It is a very uncomfortable ride, but it's worth every minute.
For sure. So much good stuff. How can businesses that need accounted for get it? What's the best way to get in contact with you and find you guys?
You could find us on Facebook, you could find us on LinkedIn, or you could go to accounted4, the number 4 LLC.com, and then there's a quick little reach out, fill out a few fields, and you're on your way.
And you guys offer a QuickBooks assessment, right?
Yeah, we do a free QuickBooks assessment. There's no risk involved. What we'll do is we'll uncover the story your numbers are telling. We'll share with you ways that you can increase your cash flow, and fundamentally, people recognize the value we bring after having the conversation.
And hopefully find some money being left on the table, ideally.
Yeah, which isn't that uncommon.
I'm sure that is actually very common. Yep. Well, guys, thank you for helping physical therapists, helping entrepreneurs, sharing all your wisdom, your life experiences. So I appreciate it, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on our next episode of Moving Mountains.